What's up, crypto enthusiast? Welcome back to Wise Staking. If you watch one video at all about Wise tokenomics and how Wise works, it really should be this one, because this is going to explain to you and model out how the Wise economy works in dollar amounts. So you can see how it works and see how it could affect your portfolio as far as making money. So if you watch one video about tokenomics, it really should be this one. So this is an Excel spreadsheet here that is made so that you can input different values, such as the US dollar amount of Ethereum sent to Uniswap. This is the same as the US dollar amount sent to the liquidity transformer. And then the net positive US dollar amount during the first year of circulation. So once launch is over and all the tokens are distributed, how many more purchases were made of Wise token on Uniswap the first 365 days. And it's net positive because some people might be cashing out, some people might be buying. So how many net positive dollars were spent on Uniswap to buy additional Wise tokens after that? And I'm using round numbers here, so obviously we have the startup cost to cover. So if exactly $10 million came into the liquidity transformer, then it wouldn't be exactly $10 million going on to Uniswap. But I'm using round numbers to show you and so that you could understand clearly what's going on. And so after launch is done, it'll be really easy to put in this number because we'll know exactly how much money came in. But until then, we have to estimate. And I'm putting $10 million there because just looking at the other projects and seeing how many YouTubers, how many big YouTubers are committed to making videos about Wise, and comparing that to the eyeballs that other projects got, other staking projects got, I'd find it really hard to believe that anything less than $10 million will be sent to the liquidity transformer. So I'm going to put that there as an absolute minimum, and we can play with it and see how it changes once we change the number. And so I'm going to put 0 for net positive. So in this first scenario, 0 people after launch bought Wise at all for an entire year. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen. And of course, this $0 amount could also be that some people bought, some people sold, but it equaled out. So no net positive extra buys were on Uniswap during the first year. And like I said, very unlikely, because if you are investing in a cryptocurrency, you're usually going to give it a chance before you cash out your money. So, over a year's time, I would expect people to have their tokens in stakes, and so they're not going to be cashing out. They're going to have it in stakes, and I would think they might even invest a little bit more or tell a friend about it, and they might invest some. So I'd find it very hard to believe if our net positive was 0 after 1 year. It's just kind of inconceivable that would happen, but this is the baseline. So this represents inflation. So interest is paid by inflating, meaning more tokens are printed every single day at a rate of, it shows here, 3% extra total supply per year to reward stakers and 10% total supply inflation interest paid to referring. And if you hear the word inflation and you're like, oh no, this is an inflationary token, pretty much every money system is inflationary. The reason we don't like the word inflationary is because we think of the US dollar's inflation and the Federal Reserve printing trillions of dollars like they did this year, and the fact that money doesn't go into our pockets. I mean, maybe you got $1,200 for a stimulus check, but the trillions of dollars does not go into your pocket. It goes into the banking system and the financial system. However, if all that money were going into the users' pockets directly, then we would love inflation. So the question is, so it's not that inflationary systems are bad. They aren't. Even gold is inflationary. Gold is being mined out of the ground at a rate of about 2 to 4% extra supply per year. Pretty crazy to think about that even gold is inflating. So inflation isn't bad. It's just, where does the extra money go? And so all of the inflation goes one of two places, either to stakers in Wise or referrers of Wise. And so you might look at that and be like, what? Are you saying referrers get more than stakers? Well, yes, as a whole. And here's the reason. This project has no profits. Like I'm creating this. The Wise Foundation makes no profits off Wise token. You just saw all the inflation goes to either staking or paying referrals. And so that's why we need a referral program. And so the first year we're paying 10% inflation to referrals, which, yes, that actually dilutes the supply. So somebody could put in $0 and then they could get 10% of the people they refer. However, that is a net positive of 9x, because in order to refer, like, you're only getting 10% total supply, just like in the launch phase. So most companies, if you look, like most big successful companies, are paying between like 20 and 50% of their entire revenues to go to marketing. And their marketing kind of stinks because, they're paying for ads, which have a low percentage click-through rate. So they're spending millions of dollars, like half the entire budget, on marketing, and they're getting a very low percentage of conversions. Whereas in order to get referral money, you have to have 10x like conversions. The money you get, you have to be referring 10 times that much. So paying out 10% inflation to marketing, that's like the first year only paying 10% marketing budget, and instead of having like a 2% conversion rate, you have a 9x conversion rate, whereas the money you spend, you're getting more and more and more all the time you spend it. So this is money well spent, and this is the only thing that dilutes the tokens. The staking interest doesn't dilute, because if you're staking, you're not being diluted, you're getting more and more. And also, the thing about referrals is the 10% is only the first year. It halves. We have a halvening in Wise. The referral commissions, the interest paid, is 10% inflation the first year, 5% on year 2, 2.5% year 3, and it halves and halves and halves every single year. And so what that will do is it will cut the inflation amount in half. However, if the token is growing by at least double the supply every single year, the pot of money that is being paid to referrers is still going to be the same. And imagine if the token were to like 5x, 10x, and really grow, which is absolutely possible, and I think pretty probable as well. Then, even though the inflation is halving, the referral money is still going up. And the cool thing about this is, because we have a halvening every single year, at some point the adoption of Wise is going to go up and up and up, and then it's going to reach its full capacity and taper off and plateau. And when that happens, we don't really need to be diluting our supply for the referral program anymore, because we have reached a plateau. We're not going to get a ton more people after that. And when that happens, we still have the halvening every single year, and so the amount being paid to the referral program is going to lessen and lessen too. So it's awesome, and it's still going to be making people money for a very, very long time, possibly decades to come. But we're not going to be paying money unnecessarily. So once we already reach our full capacity of pretty much everybody, our max user base that really wants to join Wise and sees the value and potential, it would be silly that once we reach that level, we would still be paying out 10%, even though 10% really isn't that much compared to the efficiency of every single other company on planet Earth. Anyways, so the first year people are getting 10% referrals, and so let's start to be a little realistic about what is actually going to happen. So after the first year, let's say only $1 million net positive is put in afterwards. So only 10% extra from what got put into transformer is put in. And so that could be from the original people that put in the 10 million. They could be like, wow, we really like this. We really like this program. I'm going to put in, I put in $100. I'm going to put in $10 more. It could be from that. It could be from new adoption. YouTubers are going to be promoting their referral links because they want that continued referral money. So I think that's at least $1 million extra, at least 10% extra. Like, come on, it's going to be a ton more than that, but just roll with me here. So if that were the case, the price multiplication after 1 year would be 1.21. So you would have made 21% profit on your ROI on your principal. So if you invested $100, you would now have $121 plus the interest. And in this scenario, $366,000 would be paid in interest, obviously divided through the people who are staking. So you would get whatever 21% ROI on the principal that you had staked, plus a portion of this interest depending on how much you had staked. That's pretty good. Like do you know of a investment right now where if it only increases by 10% in 1 year, if it only grows by 10% in 1 year, you get 20% extra, 21% ROI plus interest? I mean, that's pretty crazy. And $1.2 million would have been paid out. Well, not necessarily paid out, but designated for staking referrals. And you might look at this and say, wait a second, if only 1 million extra dollars of money came in, how are we paying out 1.2 million in referrals? Well, it's because the price multiplication went up 20%. So actually the price on Uniswap, the market cap is now higher. And also the fact that this money is rewarded at the end of stake. So the way staking referrals work is the same way staking interest works. So these people aren't cashing out $1.2 million. They aren't able to because it's still in stakes and the stakes haven't ended yet. So this $1.2 million is going to be designated to people, but they have to wait a year, 2 years, 5 years, however long the stakes are in order to be able to mint that. However, they're going to see the money that they're making. And so $1.2 million is actually a lot of money, a lot of money for people. So say it's January, February of 2021, and we're going at a rate where only $1 million net positive will have been put in by the end of the year. But it's not the end of the year yet. It's just January, February. So in this scenario, right now we have 15 YouTubers committed, which is awesome, but it's only 15 YouTubers. And so the only people that are going to be referrals and getting this are the people that have referred at least 50 Ethereum. So that is the YouTubers and whales. So between the YouTubers and whales, and by the way, I have no problem with whales self-referring because they are contributing to the system as well by putting in a lot of money, which adds credibility to the project. So I don't care if people self-refer because they still have to give the money. They still have to invest the money. So it's just as good if a high net worth individual puts in $1 million than if a YouTuber refers $1 million worth of people from his network. It's just the same thing. But anyway, so between whales and the YouTubers and anybody who runs an ad that's successful, whatever, anybody who becomes a refer, we're talking $1.2 million, even if only $1 million comes in during the first year. But let's say it's January, February, and some YouTuber is just killing it. Like, he's doing a really good job. He made some video tutorials. People are understanding it. They like the idea, they see the value, they like how the ownerless liquidity is backed, etc., etc. And let's say, for instance, BitBoy is doing really well. He made some videos, and he is actually killing it on referrals, and he's actually making like $10,000 to $20,000 per month. So it's January, February, and like he doesn't have that money yet, but he sees that once that stake ends, he's getting $20,000 a month. What do you think he's going to do? He's probably going to make more videos. He's probably going to show that, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Like referrals are amazing. And he's going to show how his, maybe he staked some of his Wise too. You can see how he is also making great money here too. Plus the fact that the price of his principal already went up 20%. So what do you think is going to happen if him and everybody else is making that kind of money? Well, they're probably going to refer more people and put more money in themselves. And so remember, it's only January, February, and we're getting this rate. Well, then they're going to put more money in. So let's say now $2 million, we're going at a rate as if $2 million were coming in. So now that just doubled our return. So instead of making 21%, we're now making 44% ROI. And we're making more in referrals. So that is just going to snowball. Let's turn that into 5 million extra. Now we have 2x, more than 2x. And let's say that 10 million come in, which is very plausible because we only have 50 days for people to send in money. And so in those 50 days, do you think everybody's going to invest that's going to invest? No. I mean, first of all, some people might not even see the videos on the channel until afterwards. So I think it's very plausible that at least the same amount of money that's raised in the transformer is going to be put in the first year, because we're talking the first 50 days and then 365 days after that. So if that happens, then all of a sudden you have 4x'd your principal. So whatever money you put in, you've now 4x. There's $5 million being divided between people who have referred, and $1.6 million being rewarded as interest to stakers on top of the 4x. So now let's think about this. We have 15 YouTubers committed right now, but by the time we launch, I don't know how many that's going to be, 20, 30. If we're lucky. There's actually not that many YouTubers in the space doing crypto, but there's some people we're not going to get. Like, for instance, I haven't been able to get through to Ivan on Tech, 200,000 subscribers. I haven't been able to get through to Data Dash, 300,000 subscribers. So, but what do you think is going to happen when they see this happening, when there's millions of dollars on liquidity and they start digging into the project and like, oh my goodness, this ownerless liquidity thing is actually pretty cool. Like, these people are seeing gains, and it's 100% decentralized. You can actually stake from your private wallet. Oh, there's no founder's fee. Like, what do you think they're gonna do? Like, do you think there's a world where we're making 4x gains on a completely trustless system with no founder's fee in DeFi, and Data Dash and Ivan on Tech don't mention it? No, hell no. So let's change this to $50 million. So we get 5 times the amount, which is very possible and also even very probable because people are going to talk about it. And, Data Dash is going to be like, damn, I wish I didn't ignore Peter's emails. And Ivan on Tech is going to be like, man, I wish my staff would have told me about this instead of writing it off as some other, new shitcoin. So if that happens, well, you have just 36x'd your money. And then there's $117 million being paid out to referrals and $35 million being paid out to interest. And after that happens, well, let's just say we get covered by a couple big news outlets, because now all of a sudden we have a market cap of $10 million times 36. Which is absolutely crazy. So now we get covered by a news outlet and we get a lot more people. And so let's say $90 million come in that first year, which is absolutely plausible. I mean, think about it. Ethereum has a market cap of tens of billions. What is it, 30, 40 billion right now? I have no idea. It's going up and up. This isn't even 1 billion. This isn't even 100 million. And yet, compared to Ethereum, people are making a lot more money. I mean, I just showed you how they could have made 36x in less than a year. Like, do you think there's a world where people aren't like, wow, in this safe, decentralized system with no founder's fee, and a proof of value because the money is on Uniswap and that's ownerless liquidity that can't be taken away. Should I keep my money in Ethereum, or should I maybe stake some of it, at least, in Wise? Well, you got people doing that. And so if we do that, then we have just 100x our money in our first year. $500 million will have been paid out to referrals, and $157 million have been paid out in interest on top of the 100x principal you have just made. So I hope you guys can see the potential here. And once we know how much money came in for the liquidity transformer, we'll be able to nail this down. But it really doesn't matter. Even if this number were $100 million, the ratio is still exactly the same. It doesn't take more work to do this. It's the exact same ratio. So the whole scenario that I explained to you, it's going to happen that way no matter what the scale is. So if whether $5 million come in or $100 million come in, it's still more people in it initially, which means more people talking to more people. It's the same ratio every single time. So if that story I just walked you through seems even remotely plausible to you, it would happen with a low starting amount on Uniswap, and would happen just the same with a high amount on Uniswap as well. The only difference is with starting with a high amount, now we're talking about billions of dollars being paid in interest. So this is better for everyone, the people who are staking and people who are referring, to have a higher starting off market cap on Uniswap. So I think we'll wrap it up there. Like you can play with this all day and test out and see what you think is going to happen, and we'll know. It'll be much easier to make clear results once we know how much money comes in to the liquidity transformer during those 50 days. But until then, we can make pretty good guesses on what's going to happen. And Wise is a really unique cryptocurrency because it preserves the value. It's a nonprofit. So the money doesn't go anywhere else except on Uniswap after the initial startup fees are paid for. It goes right on Uniswap and backs the value of the token, making it super sensitive to upward pressure in price and super resistant against downward pressure in price because the money is there backing the entire project. Unlike other projects where you send all the money and that's profit for the company who created the token. You start from zero. You don't start from a place of value like Wise. So Wise is unlike any other cryptocurrency in existence. It's using this new technology called ownerless liquidity in order to do so. And these are the results that can happen in very plausible scenarios that I just walked you through. So if that seems plausible to you at all, or if maybe you want to play with the numbers a little bit too, you can, and you can test it out for yourself. But this is what's possible in Wise, and this is the way cryptocurrency should be made. And I hope after the success of Wise, people see what's going on and the bar is raised so that nobody even thinks to make another cryptocurrency that's not a non-profit, because it wouldn't be as efficient as Wise. So why would anybody buy into it? That's my goal here. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you in the next one.